Hello everyone and welcome to this first YouTube live class which will prepare you for CMAT 2021. So I hope all of you have been through the first lecture of this, that is orientation to CMAT. In that we promised you that we'll come up with a YouTube live series of the lectures for CMAT 2021. And this is our first class today on percentage. As we have said, we have a different philosophy of study here. So how will we study this chapter? This YouTube live class that you will watch right now will tell you a story of Patanjali. Now where does Patanjali comes into the picture when it comes to CMAT 2021 and percentage? We are telling you a good story. We are telling you the story of products at Patanjali and explaining you the concepts of percentage. How will this help you? This will help you to understand it easily, and more importantly, it will help you to memorize the concept quite easily. You don't have to sit and mug up every formula. The story will tell you everything. The story is narrated in such a way that everything goes into your brain, but just the concepts. That is what you are getting in this YouTube live classes, the series of the live classes that we are going on. After that, now to get to that 99 percentile, as this workshop is being named 99 percentile in 99 days, but to reach to that we need a next step. So after understanding the concepts, we come on to problem solving. So as I had said, recall is the most important factor here. Most of the students know the concepts. You just now Google it, put it on YouTube percentage, you will get hundreds of concept videos. But no one is telling you about the recall. An exam is checking you only on the recall. So you know the concept. But when it comes to taking out that concept in the exam, in that 30 seconds of time, you cannot do it because you are not used to recall. So what we'll do in the Zoom classes, after the YouTube live classes, you have a Zoom classes which will be only on solving exam problems. We are just focusing on recall here. We already know the concept. You had seen the YouTube live class, you know the concept, but we are working on the recall. We work so much on the recall that we make sure that we are perfect at this. So this will happen. This classes will happen on Zoom. So make sure you tune into that as well. I'll share many of the tricks which are being used to solve the problem quickly and easily when it comes to exam like CET or CMAT, the speed based exam. So I'll share all the tricks in the Zoom classes. YouTube live, you just get the story, you get the concepts which will help you to memorize everything. But as I said, recall is the most important factor here. This is what we'll be working on Zoom classes. In case you are wondering why is this not done on YouTube, the reason is simple. I want to interact with you. I want to know what is your problem, where are you not getting the answer, because each student is different, each student preparation has to be different. So when you come to Zoom classes, I know you individually, we speak, we solve, we interact, and that is when the recall becomes perfect in this case. And you want to join the Zoom classes? For that, to attend the Zoom classes, just download the storyboard application. The link for this application will be there in the description of this video. So make sure you download the storyboard application, and then you get added into CMAT 2021 batch. So let us know that you are preparing for CMAT 2021. We'll add you into a batch of CMAT 2021. From that, you will know that when are the Zoom classes conducted and how is the content channelization happening. Okay, so make sure you do this to get the further part of this class. This is how we will study every chapter now. Now there will be reasoning that will come after this, that will have direction sense, blood relation, input output, everything, verbal reasoning. First we'll see a story, that will be a YouTube live class, then it comes to recall. Okay, and this is where we are different. We'll work so much on recall that we become perfect for exam. Now what next step that you are supposed to do after this? Just solve mock. I am making you ready for the exam. All that you have to do is go for any coaching institute that you like, which you feel like mocks are worth enough to be written. Write their mocks and test your learning. I'll prepare you for the content, you prepare yourself for the mock. That is when we get a perfect recall. We get the recall while in the class, we get the recall also by writing mock. Now what you do, the only thing you do for the recall is writing mock. No, you miss out this step then, and this becomes really important. Okay, so that's how we'll study all the classes now. So this is your first class now on percentage. Enjoy this class, and then I'll see you on the Zoom classes. Okay, have fun. learning. So we start with the chapter percentage. Now even before we start with the chapter, let us just understand few basic calculation which will be required to solve word-based problem. So I am asking you a simple question. What is 21% of 420? You will say 21 divided by 100 into 420. But this is school method. We'll not follow here. We'll try and find out answer orally. So first method that we will use is called as 10% 1% method. Now what is that? Whenever I give you any number, you always know two things about the number and you can do this visually. First is 10% and the second is 1%. So if I give you a number 623, what is 10% of that? Just put a decimal point one back, which becomes 62.3. If I ask you what is 1%, it will be 6.23, 2 decimal points. If I ask you what is 0.1%, it will be 0.623. So visually, what can I say? By looking at any number, if I take 1 decimal point back, it will be 10%, 2 decimal point back, 1%, 3 decimal point back, it will be my 0.1%, and as simple as that. I don't need to do any calculation for that because I can find the answer visually. Now there is a logic why this thing happened. If you're wondering why this thing happened, if I ask you 10%, you will say 10 divided by 100 into 623, which will just leave 623 divided by 10, so 1 decimal point. If I ask you 1%, 1 divided by 100 into 623, so 2 decimal point. 0.1 divided by 100, if asked for 0.1%, that will be nothing but 3 decimal point, and that's how I get the answer. So let's apply what we have learned. I am being asked 21% of 420, so I know visually 10% is 42, yes, 1 decimal point. So 20% will be what? Just double of 42. 10 into 2 is 20, 42 into 2 is 84, and 1% is 4.2. I need to know what is 21%. What will be 21%? 20% plus 1%. So that comes out to be 88.2, and I get my answer. I can do this orally. Next question, 49% of 420. So I know what is 50% of 420, which is half of that, 210. Okay, 210. I need to subtract 1%. Now I don't need to add, I need to subtract. What is 1%? 4.2. Just subtract 4.2 from 210. That comes out to be 205.8. And that is my 49% for the number. So that's how you apply 10% and 1% method to get the answer to most of the question. Now if I give you a question like this, 28.57% of 343, and I need an exact answer in this case. You cannot say that I'll find an approximate answer. So in this case, my 10% and 1% method look tedious, because if I go by this, it will take a lot of time and I need answer in 10 seconds. So what is a method that I'll adapt right now to get answer to such decimal based percentage, and I need the answer quickly? So now we come across one of the most important method of your percentage chapter, that will be reciprocal. Okay, now let us understand this reciprocal method and how will it help to solve various kind of problems. Now let's start by understanding the reciprocal method of percentage. Now we start with this. 1 by 2 is 50%. What is the meaning of this? Say there is an exam of 200 marks and you scored 100 marks in the exam. What percentage of marks did you score? 50%. Similarly, say exam is of 2 marks and you scored 1 mark. So what percentage did you score? 50%. Similarly, you scored 1 out of 3. 1 is what part of 3? 33.33%. Or else you can look at it in this way as well. 1 by 3 is 0.33. Since it's percentage, I'll multiply by 100. So it comes out to be 33.33. It's a normal division. 1 out of 4 is 25. Similarly, 1 by 5 is 20. 1 by 6 is 16.66. Then comes 1 by 7, which is 14.2857%. 1 by 8 is 12.5%. 1 by 9 is 11.11%. 1 by 10 is obviously 10%. And 1 by 11 is 9.09%, and going on like this. But the first question that comes into your mind is, how will I remember so many reciprocals? Because you will have to remember this at a go, because it will help you a lot in your problem. So let's start. How do you remember all this? So 1 by 2 is 50%. I know that. That will be simple. Divide both sides by 2. I'll divide both the sides by 2. So 1 by 2 upon 2 becomes 1 by 4, and 50 half becomes 25. That's it. So if I know 1 by 2, I know 1 by 4 as well. Now again divide 1 by 4 by 2 on both the sides. So 1 by 4 becomes 1 by 8 and 25 half becomes 12.5. So I know 1 by 2, 1 by 4 and 1 by 8. Similarly, I'll know 1 by 16 dividing both sides by 2. 1 by 16 is 6.25. Again divide both sides by 2 of 1 by 16. 1 by 32 will be half of 6.25, which is 3.125. And that's how I remember all of them. Now let's start by remembering the next number, which is 1 by 3, 33.33. Dividing both sides by 2. 33.33 half is 16.66, and I know that. Divide 1 by 3 both sides by 3. So 1 by 3 becomes 1 by 9, and 33.33 divided by 3 becomes 11.11. And that's how it simply you can get and derive many answers from one reciprocal. After 1 by 2, 1 by 3, remember 1 by 5 is 20%. 1 by 7 is, do a double of 7, 14. Double of 14, 28. Double of 28, 56. So 1 by 7 is 14.2857. Okay, so there is a trick to remember 1 by 7. 1 by 9 and 1 by 11 are opposite of each other. 1 by 9 is 11.11 and 1 by 11 is 9.09. So again, one more trick to remember this. And 1 by 10 is obviously 10%. So what do you remember? You remember always the prime number. You always remember the prime number reciprocal, because the rest you can derive from that. So you need to remember 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 5, 1 by 7, because all these are prime number. Rest you can derive from this prime number. So make sure you remember 1 by 13, 1 by 17, 1 by 19, 1 by 23 and so on. Now after understanding what are reciprocals, let's go on to the application of reciprocal. Okay, now what is the application of reciprocal? Now let's see. I am being asked 14.28% of 343. 14.28 according to the table is nothing but 1 by 7. So 1 by 7 into 343 I'll write, which is nothing but 7 into 7 into 7. 343 7 cube. 7 7 gets cut. 7 7s are 49. So 14.28% of 343 is nothing but 49. That's an application. Next question. 66.66% of 999. Now let's check by table what is 66.66. I know 1 by 3 is 33.33. Right? 1 by 3 is 33.33. For 66.66, what will I do? 1 by 3, which is nothing but 33.33 plus 1 by 3. One more 1 by 3. 33.33 plus 33.33 will be 66.66. So that will become what? 2 by 3. So I can write 66.66 as 2 by 3. That's it. Cut 333 into 2. What is your answer? 666. And that is how you apply your reciprocal. So 66.66% of 999 is 666. Now let's take one more problem. 28.57% of 49. Now let's see from the table what is 28.57. Where can I get 28.57? 1 by 7 is 14.28. So if I double that, 14.28 into 2 will be what? 28.56. So I'll write 28.57. 1 by 7 plus 1 by 7. So that is 14.28 plus 14.28. That becomes what? 28.57. So I'll write this as 2 by 7 into 49. Okay, 2 by 7 into 49. That answer comes out to be what? 7 7s are 49. 7 into 2 will be 14. And that's how I get the answer to this. Next question, 36.66% of 240. Let's say, how will I start? 36.66, what will I do? 1 by 5 is 20, yes, and 1 by 6 is 16.66. So now I'll add. First I started with plain, then I started with multiplication. Now I'll add the two reciprocals. So I need 20 plus 16.66 is 36.66. So I'll write 1 by 5 plus 1 by 6 into 240. So this becomes 5 plus 6, 11 by 30 into 240. 31s are 38s are 11 into 8, 88. 36.66% of 240 is 88 now. Let's solve one more. 6.66% of 120. Now where will I get 6.66% here? 1 by 6 is 16.66 and 1 by 10 is 10%. I'll subtract the 2. Now. So 1 by 6 minus 1 by 10. 1 by 6 minus 1 by 10 will be my 6.66 into 120. So 10 minus 6 is 4 upon 60 into 120. 61s are 62s are 4 into 2 is 8. So 6.66% of 120 is 8. And that's how I apply the reciprocal. That's why you need to know the table very well. So what did I do with the reciprocal here? In the first problem, I applied plain reciprocal. Just by looking at the table, I knew 14.28 is 1 by 7, so I don't have to think much because this is straight from my table of reciprocal. But in the next two problems, 28.57 and 66.66, this is an example of multiplication of reciprocal, which is 1 by 3 into 2 and 1 by 7 into 2. Next, I saw addition of reciprocal, so 20% plus 16.66. And in the end, I saw subtraction of reciprocal. So you can get anything in the exam: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, plain, reciprocal. And that is where you have to think and get the answer quickly. So make sure you know your table well to come and solve such kind of problem of addition, subtraction, multiplication and your division. So now we start solving word-based problem on percentages. We'll solve word-based problem by understanding one story of company Patanjali. I hope you all are aware of this company set up by Baba Ramdev. Now we'll understand the working pattern of Patanjali. We'll understand which are the products which are doing well, because Patanjali has come up with various kinds of product. It's a leading company in the FMCG manufacturing. So anything that you need, right from your hair oil to shampoo, the toothpaste, to atta, to noodles, oats, everything is there with Patanjali. And even now Patanjali is coming up with the jeans. So we'll see the portfolio of products of Patanjali. We'll see which are the products which are doing well. So we'll understand the pattern of growth. We'll see which are the products that are not doing so well. We'll see which are confused product which you don't know if they are doing well or they are not doing well. We'll see the manufacturing unit of Patanjali. We'll see the packaging unit of Patanjali. Which are the new products Patanjali is coming up with and how are they planned in future. And then we'll see the salary that the Patanjali gives to employees and eventually the costing of products and so on. By understanding Patanjali and its operation, we'll understand all the concepts related to percentages. So let's enter into this story and have fun learning. So we start with the first chapter. The first chapter is growth. We'll understand growth of certain products at Patanjali. So this is sales of products chart which is given to me. The sales are in thousands, so 10,000, 12,000, 14,000 that you can see for shampoo, Dantkanti, honey and so on. And this is for one bottle, one packet. So there is a generalized assumption, shampoo, one bottle, so 14,000 bottles are being sold and so on. All that you have to see are numbers. And the first question that we started, percentage growth in the number of shampoo bottles sold from 2014 to 2016. Let's see 10 to 14, from 10,000 to 14,000. So what is an increase? 4 is increased over what? 10. 4 is what percent of 10? 40%. So the percentage growth is 40%. It's as simple as that. Initial value and then the final value. Let's take one more example. Percentage increase in the number of Dantkanti sold from 15 to 16. So Dantkanti 15 was 14 and then in 16 was 16. Increase is 2. 2 over what? 14. 2 over 14 is 1 by 7 and 1 by 7 is 14.28. So 14.28 percentage increase. It's very simple. Now one more chart which is giving price per bottle. So what is a price per bottle of shampoo in 2014? 30. In 2016 it was 40. So just understand this one chart. Let's take similarly Dantkanti 2014 the price was rupees 32 and in 2016 the price was 40. Okay, so this is price of one bottle or price of one packet. And earlier the chart was about sales of the product, so that was number of products in thousand, and this is price per bottle or one packet. Now first question that we get with percentage increase on the second chart is, what is a percentage increase with the price per bottle of shampoo from 2014 to 2016? So what is the price per bottle of shampoo in 2014? Let's check it. It is rupees 30. So it is rupees 30 in 2014 and it changed to what? 40. So from 30 it increased to 40. What did it increase by? 10. 10 is increased over 30. Now all that you have to check is what is the increase. What is the increase? 10. But over what? What was the initial value? 30. So 10 increased over 30. And now you have to check 10 is what percent of 30, which is simple. 10 is what percent of 30? 1 by 3 and 1 by 3 is 33.33%. So the percentage increase with the price per bottle of shampoo from 2014 to 16 is 33.33%. So just make sure, what do you write in the numerator? The increase. What do you write in the denominator? From what did it increase? What is the initial value from which it increased? And what does that tell me? The percentage growth. This concept you will require a lot when you solve data interpretation, okay, which is like one section in many of the exam. Now let's move on to the next, which is percentage growth in the price of Dant Kanti from 2014 to 2015. What is Dant Kanti? 2014 32. It increased to 34. So increased 2 over what? 32. Which means what? 2 over 32 is increased. 2 over 32 is 1 by 16. 1 by 16 I don't know, but I know 1 by 8. 1 by 8 is 12.5. So dividing both sides by 2, what will it become now? 1 by 16 is 6.25. That's it. So I know what is a percentage increase? 6.25. You can do this by formula as well. Initial value minus final value divided by initial value. Now let's understand this. What is the initial value? 32. What's the final value? 34. So what is the increase? Final value minus initial value always, and that will be my numerator. And what is the initial value? The increase is always over the initial value. So what is the initial value? 32, and that's why I write 2 by 32, which is 1 by 16, and I get the answer as 6.25. So if you want to generalize the formula for your percentage increase, it is always your final value minus initial value divided by initial value, because the increase is happening always on the initial value. So make sure you know the simple concept related to your percentage increase, because we will be applying this concept to most of the problems that we'll be doing in percentage. So now we start next part, where we see the product which did not work or for which the growth was negative. So let's start by understanding the product for which the growth was negative, which means the number of sales or this number of products that were sold decreased. So what is the percentage decrease in the number of hair oil bottles sold from 2015 to 16? 15 to 16 I need to see hair oil. Now let's check that. 14 to 12. So the number of bottles that were sold decreased. Decreased by what? 2. But decreased over what? 14. It is quite similar to your percentage increase. Earlier we saw it increased by 2. Now it is decreasing by 2. So same thing will come in the numerator. But it decreased by 2 over what? Over the initial value, and the initial value was again 14. So 2 by 14, which is nothing but 1 by 7. So 14.28% decrease is something that you can say for hair oil from 2015 to 2016. Let's take one more example. What is the percentage decrease in the sales of curd from 2014 to 2016? Let's go with curd. 2014 20 and 2016 it's 14, decreased by 6 over 20. 6 over 20 is 3 by 10, which is nothing but 30%. So again we saw it decreased by 6, but it decreased over the initial value, and the initial value is what? 20. So it decreased by 6 over 20. 6 is what percent of 20? 6 is 30% of 20. So I can say 30% decrease in the sales of curd from 14 to 16. Let's take our next chart, which is price per bottle or packet. What is the percentage decrease in the price of the curd from 2014 to 2016? 2014 curd, let's see what was the price. 40, and 2016 it was 20. Decreased by 20. 20 over what? 40. 20 is what percent of 40, which is nothing but 50%. So again we saw, we can say initial value was 40, final value was 20. If we subtract final value minus initial value, the increase is 20, but the increase of 20 is over the initial value of 40. So the difference upon the initial value, and I see 20 is what percent of 40? 1 by 2, or visually you can say it's 50% decrease in the price of curd from 14 to 16. So I hope you got the concept of percentage decrease in this section. So earlier we studied percentage increase, now we study percentage decrease. What is the only difference between the two? The formula is same. Final value minus initial value divided by initial value. But in this case, the growth is reducing. The products which are sold are reducing. In the earlier case of positive growth, the number of products that was sold or the price of the product was increasing. Now the price or the number of products are decreasing, and that's why it's called as negative growth. Now let us study and understand the evergreen products at Patanjali. So what are the evergreen products? Products for which growth has been increasing over the years. So product for which the growth has been increasing consistently over the years will be your evergreen products. Let's take an example: shampoo 10, 12, 14, Dant Kanti 12, 14, 16, honey 14, 16, 20. So there is a constant increase in the growth. Now if I take an example of honey, it was 14, it became 16, increased by what? Increased by 2 over 14. So what is the percentage increase? 1 by 7, 14.28% increase. If I take the next scenario, 16 became 20. So what is the increase? 4 over 16, 1 by 4. 1 by 4 according to reciprocal is 25%. So there is a 25% increase. So 14.28 from 14 to 15. From 15 to 16, 25% increase is what you see. Now if I tell you 16 to 17, 17 to 18, 18 to 19, as we move on to the years, there is a 10% growth as we move from 16 to 17. From 17 to 18, as we move again, there is a 10% growth over the previous year. From 18 to 19, again a 10% growth over the previous year. So what is the number of products, or what is the number of bottles of honey sold in the year 2019? Okay, if I give it this percentage increase. So how will you start with? First we'll start with the manual method. What is 10% of 22? Add 2 to 20, it becomes 22. So this is the bottles sold in 2017. Then again 10% of that, 10% of 22 is 2.2. Add 2.2 to 22, it becomes what? 24.2. Number of bottles sold in the year 2018. Okay, this is increase of 10% and increase of 10% over the previous year. So 24.2 number of bottles sold in 18. Now 10% of 24.2, that is 2.42, will increase. So 24.2 plus 2.42 becomes what? 26.62, and that is the number of bottles sold in the year 2019. That's how you find it out by manual method. Just by getting the answer and adding it to the previous value. But that's not how we solve it. We'll solve it by percentage method. So 2016, 2017, 2018 and then 2019. I'll say whatever the value was in 2016, it was 20 I know. Let that be 100%. And there is an increase of 10% over that. So now just think in terms of percentage. 100%, what is the 10% of 100%? 10. 10 increase over 100, 110%. Okay, that's 110% in the year 2017. Now 10% increase over that. So what is 10% of 110? 11. So it becomes 121. Okay, so such that 21% increase. Again 10% of 121, 12.1, 133.1. What do you understand from this? What was 100% in 2016 has become 133.1% in 2019. 100% becomes 133.1. So what do you say? What is an increase here? 33.1% increase in the year 2019 as compared to the year 2016. So what was the number of products sold in 2016? 20. Now we'll think in terms of value. This is 100%, right? This is 100%. This has increased by 33.3. So take 33.3% of 20. 30% is 6. 3% is 0.6. Add 6 plus 0.6, 26.6. If you can check, it's the same answer. It's the same answer that we got by manual method, but ideally solve only by percentage method. We find it out here. What is a percentage increase? Then we compare the percentage increase with the value in the end. So we substitute the value only in the end. Till that time, we only play with the percentage to reach to our answer. After this, we'll see a shortcut method of percentage method as well, which will be called as the magical number line, where applying this concept of successive percentage increase will be very easy. So stay ahead and see the rest of the lectures as well. Now let us start with one more category of products at Patanjali. So after evergreen products, we learned something called as a lost product. So what is a lost product? It is exactly opposite of evergreen product. For evergreen product, the growth has been increasing over the period of years. For the lost product, the growth will be decreasing. Check out hair oil. It's 18, 14 and 12. So it is decreasing. Not with curd, 20, 12 and then it increased. Not with paneer as well, 22, 10 and then 16. So it increased. I need to give a product for which the growth has been decreasing consistently over the year, and that is hair oil. 18 becomes 14, 14 becomes 12. So let's first understand and visualize what is a percentage decrease that has been happening for hair oil since 14, 15 and 16. So you will say from 14 to 15 reduced by 4, 4 over 18, which is nothing but 2 by 9, 2 by 9, 1 by 9, 11.11 into 2. So you will say 22.22% decrease. That has happened as we move from 2014 to 2015. Let's move from 2015 to 2016. What is happening here? 14 becomes 12. So reduced by what? Reduced by 2. Reduced by 2 over what? 14. 2 over 14 is nothing but 1 by 7. So 14.28% decrease that is happening as we move from 2015 to 2016. Okay, now if I ask you a similar question, as we move from 2017 then to 18 then to 19, and I tell you that there is a decrease of 10% that is happening as you move from 16 to 17, then 10% as you move from 17 to 18, then 10% as you move from 18 to 19. Okay, so that is the decrease that is being happening. So what will be the number of hair oil bottles sold in the year 2019? Let's just do it manually first. So 10% of 12 is nothing but 1.2. Subtract 1.2 from 12. What is the answer that you get from here? So subtract this comes out to be 12 minus 1.2 is 10.8. So 10.8 is the number of bottles sold in 2017. Now take 10% of that and reduce by 10%. So 10% of 10.8 is 1.08. If I subtract 1.08 from 10.8, the answer comes out to be what? Check it out. If we subtract 10.8, 1.08, 9.72. So 9.72 number of bottles sold in the year 2018. Reduce it further by 10%. So what is 10% of 9.72? 0.972. Now 0.972 is subtracted from 9.72 and you reach to your final answer, which will be what? Just check it out. 9.72 minus 0.972, 8.8 approximately. Okay, because I just ignored the last two digits. I just took the last digit, which was 9.7. So 8.8. If I solve this by percentage method, as I told you, never ever solve it by visually or manual method. You have to always solve by percentage method. How will I solve this by percentage method? Say whatever is in 2016, that is 100%. It got reduced by 10%. So 100 reduced by 10% is what? Subtract 100 from 10. Now you will not add to it. So it is what is 90. So 90% is left right now. 90% of the total. Now 10% is reduced over 90. So what is 10% of 90? That is 9. You subtract 9 from 90. What do you get is 81. So 81% of the price that was there in 2016 is left right now. Now take 10% of 81, which is nothing but 8.1. Subtract 8.1 from 81. What do you get it here? That will be the percentage, 72.9. That is the percentage of the price that is left by now after all the reduction. So something that was 100% in 2016 became 72.9 in the year 2019. So reduced by what? 27.1%. What will you do in this case? Take the value which is there in the year 2016, which is what? 12, and reduce this by 27.1%. If you reduce this by 27.1%, you will get the answer for what is the value in the year 2019. So take it. 10% is 1.2. So 20% is 2.4. I know I need 7 more percent. 1% is 0.12. So 7% is what? Into 7, that will be 0.84. So add 20% plus 7% is 27%. So you have 2.4 plus 0.84. That will be equal to what? 2 plus 3.24. Now subtract 3.24. Okay, this is not how you will solve it in the exam. This is just for your visualization as to how will things happen. I'll tell you the shortcut as we end with this videos. So for the time being, just know 100 minus 27.1, I subtract, I get 72.9. Just visualize, see how are things happening here. How am I getting everything? So finally, I get my answer as 8.8, which is the same answer which I found out visually as well. But always follow the percentage method. I am writing so many things, I can solve it in one line, but I'm writing so many things for your better visualization as to see how is the price reducing as we pass on with every year. How is the price reducing and what is eventually the price that you get. If I solve it in terms of value, how will it look like? If I solve it in terms of percentage, how will it look like? Do I know what is the reduced percentage in 2017? Yes, 90%. What is the meaning of that? Do I know what is the reduced percentage in 2019? 72.9. What is the meaning of that? The value which was there 100% in the year 2016 is reduced to 72.9. So the reduction is 27.1% of 12. Okay, we are visualizing everything because the question can be asked in any which ways. As I finished with first the evergreen product, now the lost product. After that you will see the confused product. As we finish with all the three, I'll tell you a shortcut, almost two shortcuts. First is a reciprocal shortcut, second is a number line shortcut, and that is how you are supposed to solve. So now you are thinking, okay, percentage method is how I'll solve it in the exam. No, you will not even follow percentage method. That is again just for your understanding. I'll tell you the shortcuts for this, which will be the reciprocal method and the magical number line, which will be coming after the video of the confused product. Okay, so go ahead and watch more of the videos on percentage. Now let us start with the next category of product, which are confused product. So for this product, these are not evergreen, not lost product, these are confused products. So for which there is a positive growth that is happening, at the same time there is a negative growth that is also happening. So there is an increase as well as there is a decrease that is happening. So we had seen only increase with evergreen, we had seen only decrease with lost. Now let's see increase and decrease, which is happening with curd. Reducing from 20 to 12 and then from increasing 12 to 14. Paneer 22 to 10 decreasing and from 10 to 16 increasing. So let's take an example. We'll start with curd. 20 is the sales of curd in the year 2014. At 15 it become 12. So reduced by 8 over 20, which means you can say 40% reduction, or so you can say 40% negative growth that is happening with curd from 2014 to 15. What is happening from 15 to 16? 12 to 14. So it is increasing by what? 2 over what? 12. 2 over 12 is 1 by 6, which is nothing but 16.66% increase. So from 15 to 16 it is increasing by 16.66%. So from decrease, now there is an increase that is happening. Now what after that? Now I am saying that in the year 2017, as we move from 16 to 17, there is a 10% increase. And then as we move from 17 to 18, there is a 10% decrease. So tell me what will be the sales of curd in the year 2018, and that is my question. What will be the sales? So first let's solve it manually. What is 10% of 14? That is 1.4, because I know in 2016 the sales was 14 and it increased by 10%. So what is 10% of 14? 1.4. So I add 1.4 to 14 and the answer comes out to be 15.4. So 15.4 will be the sales of curd in the year 2017. Now from 17 to 18 it is reducing by 10%. What is 10% of 15.4? 1.54. So since it's reducing, what will I do? I'll subtract. So I'll subtract 1.54 from 15.4 and I'll get the answer to it. And that will be the sales of curd in the year 2018. 13.86 is my answer. So if I solve it manually, 10% increase, 10% decrease, I get my answer to be as 13.86. But as we know, we solve it always by percentage method. So let's apply percentage method to the problem of confused product. So what is happening? In 2016 I have 100%, from 16 to 17, 17 to 18. So in 16 I have 100%, which means complete set of products is there, which is given to me as 14, but I will not use the value. It increases by 10%. So if 100 increases by 10%, it will become what? 100 at 10. We had seen this in evergreen. Now this is reducing by 10%. So after an increase there is a decrease. Now what is 10% of 110? It is 11. Since it's reducing, I'll subtract. So 99 is the answer to this. So what is my understanding from this? What was 100% in 2016 has reduced to 99%, which means it has reduced by 1%. So whatever is 100%, it has reduced by 1% and it has reduced to 99% of itself. So now let's just put the value. So what was the value if you can say there is a 1% decrease that is happening. Yes. Now let's just substitute value. So the value in 2016 was 14. 99% of 14 is left. It means 1% of 14 is taken out. As simple as that. So just take what is 1% of 14, which is 0.14. So if I subtract 0.14 from 14, the answer comes out to be 13.86, and that is the same answer which I got it by manual method as well. Okay, because now what is left? 99% of 14 is left, and 99% of 14 is 13.86. So that will be the sales of curd in the year 2018. If you can compare both the answer, they are same. But as I had said, you have to solve only by percentage method, because your manual method is only for your visualization, which we saw in evergreen product as well as in the loss product. So make sure whenever there is a percentage increase or a decrease, you practice percentage method the most. Now let us see a shortcut percentage reciprocal method to solve the problems related to consecutive percentage increase. Okay, so first we saw here manual method. I told you never to solve it by this method, but this is for our visualization. We had seen this. How will this thing happen? Then I told you about the percentage method, which was this, and 100 becomes 133.1. So the increase is 33.1, but this is in terms of percentage. Convert it in terms of value. So if I have the value which is 100% as this, increase this by 33.3, and then you get the answer. And this, both the answers were obviously same. One by manual method for our visualization, second by percentage method to see how is the percentage change happening with respect to every year. Now this is the shortcut method. This is what you will ideally use it in the exam. So what is the value in 2016? That is 20, right? This is what we always started from. Then you said it increased by 10%, correct? Then it increased by 10% from 17 to 18, from 16 to 17, 10, 17 to 18, 10, and then from 18 to 19 it increased by 10. Then I ask you what is the value in the year 2019? That was the question to us. Now how will you solve this by this shortcut? So come here. What is a 100% 1? Okay, how do you know 100% is 1? 100 divided by 100, right? That comes out to be what? 1. Now add 10 more percent to this. Okay, what is 10%? 10%, how do you write 10 divided by 100, which is nothing but 110. So add 10% to 100%. What is the answer that will come out to be here? 10 plus 1, that comes out to be 11 by 10. What is 11 by 10? If there is a 10% increase that is happening, you will write it as 11 by 10. This is in terms of percentage reciprocals. So you know percentage. Now we use the reciprocal of this, and we reach to this answer. So what do I know about it now? If there is a 10% increase, I'll write it as 11 by 10. So what happened here? There is a 10% increase. Yes, there is a 10% increase here. So write 11 by 10. Write 11 by 10. But what is happening? There is one more 10% increase. So write one more level by 10, because there is a 10% increase here as well. But again there is a one more 10% increase. So write one more 11 by 10 here, because there is a 10% increase. Every time there is a 10% increase, I'll write 11 by 10 here. Now what is the answer that you get for it? Just cancel everything. What do you get it here? 11 cube. You have to remember this 1331. Okay, into what? Into 20. Okay, divided by what? 1000. Now cut this 0. This 1331 into 2 is what? 2 1s are 2, 3 into 2 is 6, 3 into 2 is 6, 2662 divided by what? 100. So what is the answer that will come out to be? 26.62. You will get the answer like in 10 seconds. The same answer, 26.62. Okay, it's the same answer what we got it earlier as well, but now we solve it by percentage reciprocal shortcut. Okay, so make sure you remember how to apply this. And how did we get to this? If there is a 20% increase, how you would have solved? 100% is here, 20%. Initially we saw how do you write 10%. How do you write 20? 20 divided by 100, which is nothing but 1/5. Remember the reciprocals that we have done. If you know what is 20%, it is 1/5. So how will I write this? 5 plus 1, 6/5. 120% increase, I will write 1 6/5. Another 20% increase, one more 6/5. Then in the end, just multiply everything and get to the answer. Okay, it's as easy as that. If you would have also asked you, okay, only 1%, 10% increase. Tell me what is the value. You know what is the value here? It is 22, right? So you should get the value here. Yes, you will get, see, this 10 gets cancelled. 11 into 2 is nothing but 22. Correct. This is the value that you got it here, 22. So no matter how many years and how many percentage increase is being asked, you can always reach to your value. In case they ask you there is a 10% increase and then there is a 20% increase, what will you write? 10% you know 11 by 10, correct. 20% you also know 6 by 5, we just saw it now. So write it into 6 by 5. Multiply whatever the value was. So assume the value to be 20. So I'll write it here 20. Okay, now just cancel. This gets cancelled. 11 into 2 is what? 22 into 6 divided by 5. That is the answer that I get it here. So now multiply. 6 into 2 is 12. 6 into 132 divided by 5. So 5 ones are 5. 2s are 10. What are you left with? 3, 2, 5. 5, 6 are 30. 2 by 5. 1 by 5 is 20. 26.4. And that's how. So any number of years given, any percentage increase is given, use the percentage reciprocal shortcut. Okay, derive the appropriate value for that percentage increase, multiply and reach to your answer. Can you apply only to the percentage increase? No, let's apply it to the loss product as well. You can use this anytime. Now there was what? 10% decrease. Then again there is a 10% decrease. So from 16 to 17, 10% decrease. 17 to 18, 10% decrease. 18 to 19, 10% decrease. The initial value was 12. What will be the value in the year 2019 was the question that was asked to you. So what will you do? Earlier it was 10% increase, so you wrote 1 plus 1 by 10. But now there is a 10% decrease. Just replace the plus by minus. Just replace the plus by minus and you will reach to your answer. So this will be 1 minus 1 by 10. So what is the answer that comes out to be? 10 minus 1 is nothing but 9 by 10. So for a 10% decrease, I'll write 9 by 10. For a 10% increase, I'll write 11 by 10. Okay, and that's how easy it becomes. So let's solve this question by the decrease. So what is the earlier value that was given to me? 12. Decreased by 10%, I'll write 9 by 10. Correct. Again decreased by 10%. First 16 to 17, then 17 to 18 decreased by 10%. Write one more 9 by 10. Then again from this it decreased by 10%. So write one more 9 by 10. Earlier it was 11 by 10, 11 by 10, 11 by 10 because it was 3 10% increase. Now this is 3 10% decrease. So 9 by 10, 9 by 10, 9 by 10. So what do you do in the end? Multiply as you did earlier. So this is 12 into 9 cube is nothing but 729. Okay, divided by what? 10 into 10 into 10, which is nothing but 1000. So now just get the answer to this. So 729 into 12 is what I'm supposed to get. So let's just multiply. 9 into 2 is 18, 2 into 2 is 4, 5, 7 into 2 is 14, into 1 into 9, 1 into 2, 1 into 7. So this is 8, 9 plus 5 is 14, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 4, 8. 8748 is the value that I get. But 8748 is what? 8748 is divided by 1000. Okay, so this comes out to be what? 8.748. Correct. That is what we got it there. We got an approximate answer that was 8.8 and which was not the actual answer. So both you are visualizing by manually as well as the percentage method does not give you the accurate answer because you'll have to calculate a lot for that. This method, it is not only a shortcut, but it will surely give you a correct answer up to 2 to 3 decimal places. So make sure you know how to apply the percentage reciprocal method. If similarly they give you, if there is a 20% decrease, what will you do for 20% decrease? I know it should be written as what? 1 by 5. But I'll write it as 1 minus 1 by 5. So this becomes what? 5 minus 1, 4 by 5. So 20% decrease, I'll write it as 4 by 5. 20% increase, I write it as 6 by 5. So now if I tell you there is 12, there is a 20% decrease that is happening, 4 by 5. Then there is a 10% decrease that is happening, 9 by 10. Correct? 20% decrease and 10% decrease. So what is the eventual value that I'll get it here? So now you'll just multiply. This becomes what? 2, 6 are 12. 2 5s are 10. What are you left with? 9, 6 into 9 is 54 into 4 divided by 5. So now just multiply. 4 into 4 will be 16. 5 into 4, 20. 216 divided by 5. So this becomes what? 5 4s are 20. 1 6, 5 5s are 25. Then 1 by 5 is 0.2, 45.2, okay, is the value that you are left with. Okay, now what is this? If I understand, yes, this is first for 4.52, this should be right, because this is what are you left with, 5 into 5, this is one more 5 here. Okay, we missed it out. So 6 into 9 is 54 into 4, correct, divided by 5. This is again divided by 5. I missed out this 5. Okay, so now again divide this becomes what, 5 9s are 45. That's it, 0.0. So approximately the answer comes out to be 9. I hope you will be ready with the calculation. So 12 is reduced to 9 with a 20% and a 10% decrease. So make sure you know the method of percentage reciprocal to reach to your answer. Now let's apply it to the last, which was our confused product. So if there is an increase as well as there is a decrease that is happening, how will I go ahead to apply the percentage and reciprocal method to that? So what happened here? There was a 10% increase, then there was a 10% decrease. What do you write for a 10% increase? 11 by 10. What do you write for a 10% decrease? 9 by 10. But you need to find out the value of what? You are checking for 14, correct? So right there a 14. That's it, 14 into 11 by 10 into 9 by 10. Now just multiply. 11 into 9 is 99 into 14 divided by 100. Don't try to cut this, because in the end you will get the decimal place because only of the denominator. Okay, so multiply this. 99 into 14. What is the answer? 9 4s are 36. 36, 37, 38, 39 into 1 9 is a 9. 1 9 is a 9. 6. This is what? 9 plus 9, 18. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, 1386. You could have done it at shortcut as well. No need to multiply all this. 14 into 100 will be what? 1400. Right? Take out 14 from that. That will be come out to be 1386. So there is a shortcut to solve this manually. So this becomes 1386 divided by 100, which is nothing but 13.86. 13.86. Okay, so that's how you receive the same answer, 13.86. But now I got it by a percentage reciprocal method. So this can be used for any number of years, any increase, any decrease, or an increase as well as a decrease that is happening. All that you need to know is how to convert. What is the value that I'll get for a 10% increase, 10% decrease, 20% increase, 20% decrease, 15% increase, 15% decrease, and just play with this. Okay, eventually you'll always reach to your answer. Now let us see a shortcut percentage reciprocal method to solve the problems related to consecutive percentage increase. Okay, so first we saw here manual method. I told you never to solve it by this method, but this is for our visualization. We had seen this. How will this thing happen? Then I told you about the percentage method, which was this, and 100 becomes 133.1. So the increase is 33.1, but this is in terms of percentage. Convert it in terms of value. So if I have the value which is 100% as this, increase this by 33.3, and then you get the answer. And this, both the answers were obviously same. One by manual method for our visualization, second by percentage method to see how is the percentage change happening with respect to every year. Now this is the shortcut method. This is what you will ideally use it in the exam. So what is the value in 2016? That is 20, right? This is what we always started from. Then you said it increased by 10%, correct? Then it increased by 10% from 17 to 18, from 16 to 17, 10, 17 to 18, 10, and then from 18 to 19 it increased by 10. Then I ask you what is the value in the year 2019? That was the question to us. Now how will you solve this by this shortcut? So come here. What is a 100% 1? Okay, how do you know 100% is 1? 100 divided by 100, right? That comes out to be what? 1. Now add 10 more percent to this. Okay, what is 10%? 10%, how do you write 10 divided by 100, which is nothing but 110. So add 10% to 100%. What is the answer that will come out to be here? 10 plus 1, that comes out to be 11 by 10. What is 11 by 10? If there is a 10% increase that is happening, you will write it as 11 by 10. This is in terms of percentage reciprocals. So you know percentage. Now we use the reciprocal of this, and we reach to this answer. So what do I know about it now? If there is a 10% increase, I'll write it as 11 by 10. So what happened here? There is a 10% increase. Yes, there is a 10% increase here. So write 11 by 10. Write 11 by 10. But what is happening? There is one more 10% increase. So write one more level by 10, because there is a 10% increase here as well. But again there is a one more 10% increase, so write one more 11 by 10 here, because there is a 10% increase. Every time there is a 10% increase, I'll write 11 by 10 here. Now what is the answer that you get for it? Just cancel everything. What do you get it here? 11 cube, you have to remember this, 1331. Okay, into what? Into 20. Okay, divided by what? 1000. Now cut this 0. Or this 1331 into 2 is what? 2 1s are 2, 3 into 2 is 6, 3 into 2 is 6, 2662 divided by what? 100. So what is the answer that will come out to be? 26.62. You will get the answer like in 10 seconds. The same answer, 26.62. Okay, it's the same answer what we got it earlier as well, but now we solve it by percentage reciprocal shortcut. Okay, so make sure you remember how to apply this. And how did we get to this? If there is a 20% increase, how you would have solved? 100% is here, 20%. Initially we saw how do you write 10%. How do you write 20? 20 divided by 100, which is nothing but 1/5. Remember the reciprocals that we have done. If you know what is 20%, it is 1/5. So how will I write this? 5 plus 1, 6/5. 120% increase, I will write 1 6/5. Another 20% increase, one more 6/5. Then in the end, just multiply everything and get to the answer. Okay, it's as easy as that. If you would have also asked you, okay, only 1%, 10% increase. Tell me what is the value. You know what is the value here? It is 22, right? So you should get the value here. Yes, you will get. See, this 10 gets cancelled. 11 into 2 is nothing but 22. Correct. This is the value that you got it here, 22. So no matter how many years and how many percentage increase is being asked, you can always reach to your value. In case they ask you there is a 10% increase and then there is a 20% increase, what will you write? 10%, you know, 11 by 10, correct? 20% you also know, 6/5, we just saw it now. So write it into 6/5. Multiply whatever the value was. So assume the value to be 20. So I'll write it here 20. Okay, now just cancel. This just gets cancelled. 11 into 2 is what? 22 into 6 divided by 5. That is the answer that I get it here. So now multiply. 6 into 2 is 12. 6 into 132 divided by 5. So 5 ones are 5. 2s are 10. What are you left with? 3, 2, 5. 5, 6 are 30. 2 by 5. 1 by 5 is 20. 26.4. And that's how. So any number of years given, any percentage increase is given, use the percentage reciprocal shortcut. Okay, derive the appropriate value for that percentage increase, multiply and reach to your answer. Can you apply only to the percentage increase? No, let's apply it to the loss product as well. You can use this anytime. Now there was what? 10% decrease. Then again there is a 10% decrease. So from 16 to 17, 10% decrease. 17 to 18, 10% decrease. 18 to 19, 10% decrease. The initial value was still 12. What will be the value in the year 2019 was the question that was asked to you. So what will you do? Earlier it was 10% increase, so you wrote 1 plus 1 by 10. But now there is a 10% decrease. Just replace the plus by minus. Just replace the plus by minus and you will reach to your answer. So this will be 1 minus 1 by 10. So what is the answer that comes out to be? 10 minus 1 is nothing but 9 by 10. So for a 10% decrease, I'll write 9 by 10. For a 10% increase, I'll write 11 by 10. Okay, and that's how easy it becomes. So let's solve this question by the decrease. So what is the earlier value that was given to me? 12. Decreased by 10%, I'll write 9 by 10. Correct? Again decreased by 10%. First 16 to 17, then 17 to 18 decreased by 10%. Write one more 9 by 10. Then again from this it decreased by 10%. So write one more 9 by 10. Earlier it was 11 by 10, 11 by 10, 11 by 10 because it was 3 10% increase. Now this is 3 10% decrease. So 9 by 10, 9 by 10, 9 by 10. So what do you do in the end? Multiply as you did earlier. So this is 12 into 9 cube is nothing but 729. Okay, divided by what? 10 into 10 into 10, which is nothing but 1000. So now just get the answer to this. So 729 into 12 is what I'm supposed to get. So let's just multiply. 9 into 2 is 18, 2 into 2 is 4, 5, 7 into 2 is 14, into 1 into 9, 1 into 2, 1 into 7. So this is 8, 9 plus 5 is 14, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 4, 8. 8748 is the value that I get. But 8748 is what? 8748 is divided by 1000. Okay, so this comes out to be what? 8.748. Correct. Correct. That is what we got it there. We got an approximate answer that was 8.8 and which was not the actual answer. So both you are visualizing by manually as well as the percentage method does not give you the accurate answer because you'll have to calculate a lot for that. This method, it is not only a shortcut, but it will surely give you a correct answer up to 2 to 3 decimal places. So make sure you know how to apply the percentage reciprocal method. If similarly they give you, if there is a 20% decrease, what will you do for 20% decrease? I know it should be written as what? 1 by 5. But I'll write it as 1 minus 1 by 5. So this becomes what? 5 minus 1, 4 by 5. So 20% decrease, I'll write it as 4 by 5. 20% increase, I write it as 6 by 5. So now if I tell you there is 12, there is a 20% decrease that is happening, 4 by 5. Then there is a 10% decrease that is happening, 9 by 10. Correct? 20% decrease and 10% decrease. So what is the eventual value that I'll get it here? So now you'll just multiply. This becomes what? 2, 6 are 12, 2 5s are 10. What are you left with? 9, 6 into 9 is 54 into 4 divided by 5. So now just multiply. 4 into 4 will be 16. 5 into 4, 20. 216 divided by 5. So this becomes what? 5 4s are 20. 1 6, 5 5s are 25. Then 1 by 5 is 0.2. 45.2. Okay, is the value that you are left with. Okay, now what is this? If I understand, yes, this is first for 4.52. This should be right because this is what are you left with? 5 into 5. This is one more 5 here. Okay, we missed it out. So 6 into 9 is 54 into 4, correct, divided by 5. This is again divided by 5. I missed out this 5. Okay, so now again divide this. This becomes what? 5 9s are 45. That's it, 0.0. So approximately the answer comes out to be 9. I hope you will be ready with the calculation. So 12 is reduced to 9 with a 20% and a 10% decrease. So make sure you know the method of percentage reciprocal to reach to your answer. Now let's apply it to the last, which was our confused product. So if there is an increase as well as there is a decrease that is happening, how will I go ahead to apply the percentage and reciprocal method to that? So what happened here? There was a 10% increase, then there was a 10% decrease. What do you write for a 10% increase? 11 by 10. What do you write for a 10% decrease? 9 by 10. But you need to find out the value of what? You are checking for 14, correct? So right there 14. That's it. 14 into 11 by 10 into 9 by 10. Now just multiply. 11 into 9 is 99 into 14 divided by 100. Don't try to cut this because in the end you will get the decimal place because only of the denominator. Okay, so multiply this. 99 into 14. What is the answer? 9 4s are 36. 36, 37, 38, 39 into 1 9 is a 9. 1 9 is a 9. 6. This is what? 9 plus 9, 18. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, 1, 3, 8, 6. You could have done it at shortcut as well. No need to multiply all this. 14 into 100 will be what? 1400. Right? Take out 14 from that. That will be come out to be 1386. So there is a shortcut to solve this manually. So this becomes 1386 divided by 100, which is nothing but 13.86. 13.86. Okay, so that's how you receive the same answer, 13.86. But now I got it by a percentage reciprocal method. So this can be used for any number of years, any increase, any decrease, or an increase as well as a decrease that is happening. All that you need to know is how to convert. What is the value that I'll get for a 10% increase, 10% decrease, 20% increase, 20% decrease, 15% increase, 15% decrease, and just play with this. Okay, eventually you will always reach to your answer. Now let us study one more concept of inflation. So dilemma of inflation. We'll study one of the most important rule in percentage by the means of this example, which is product consistency rule. Let us first understand what is an inflation. An inflation is nothing but sudden rise or decline in the price of the product. Decline would be deflation. Now the rise is called as inflation. So if there is a rise in the price of the product, what effect will it have on the purchasing power of the consumer? Now what is happening? The price of the product is increasing, but my consumption pattern remains the same, which means I was consuming 5 apples last year. I am consuming 5 apples this year as well. but then the price of the apples have increased. That is what will have an effect on my purchasing power. I'll get less of apples this time. Okay, so let's see how does this thing happen. So this is an example. With respect to the percentage increase in the price of the shampoo from 2015 to 2016, okay, what should be the percentage decrease in the quantity consumption if the expenditure of the consumer remains same? You must have seen such kind of question many times. They appear in many aptitude exams. So price is increasing from 32 to 40. What's the percentage increase? Simply you will say what? Increasing by 8. Increasing by 8 over 32. 8 is what percent of 32? 1 by 4. And 1 by 4 is nothing but 25% increase in the price of the product. That's what he's asking. With respect to the percentage increase in the price of the shampoo from 2015 to 2016, so there is a 25% increase. What should be the percentage decrease in the quantity consumption so that the expenditure remains same? What is the meaning of expenditure, which means my salary? So let's take just the LCM of 32 and 40, and that comes out to be 160. So for this example, I am saying that my expenditure, that my salary is rupees 160 only. But what has happened? You can take anything. Take 100, take 200, take any number that is same. Why am I taking 120? Because then the calculation will be easier. You can also take here 100, 100. You can also take here 300, 300. Any number, any two numbers that are same. Because the question is given in percentage and they are asking you answer in percentage. So we can assume the expenditure of your choice. But I'll take the expenditure as 160 because it's an LCM of 32 and 40 and it will be easier for me to calculate and get the answer. So I'm saying the price increase from 32 to 40, which is 25% increase in the price. Expenditure remains same, which means my salary remains same. Last year also it was 160. This year also it is 160. So what is happening with the quantity that I consume? 32 into 5 is 160 and 40 into 4 is 160. What is the meaning of this? Last year I was getting 5 shampoo bottles when the cost of the shampoo bottle was 32, and this year I am getting 4 shampoo bottles. Why? Because the cost of the shampoo bottle has increased. It has become 40. Why am I getting lesser number of shampoo bottles? Because my salary is same, that is rupees 160. That is what the question is asking. With respect to the percentage increase in the price of the shampoo, which is 25%, what should be the percentage decrease in the quantity consumption? So earlier, what quantity that I was consuming? 5 bottles. Now, how many bottles am I consuming? 4 bottles. So what is the reduction here? What is the reduction here? I am consuming 1. Okay, if I ask you a simple question of percentage decrease, the percentage decrease is 1 and the decrease is over 5. Okay, 1 is what percent of 5? 1 by 5 is what? 20%. So what is the percentage reduction in the quantity consumed? 20%. Earlier I was consuming 5 and I am consuming 4. Reduced by 1. 1 over what? 5. 1 is what percent of 5? 20%. And that is what the question is asking me. What should be the percentage decrease in the quantity consumption? 20%. Provided the expenditure remains same. Yes, the expenditure does remain same. It was 160 in both the case. So my answer to this question is 20%. So with 25% increase in the price, 20% should be the reduction in the quantity. Now let's solve this by shortcut. Okay, now what do I do right now? Now I know what is the increase in the price. Always solve it by this shortcut. No need to write so many things. If you would have seen, I always show you now the long method, then we go for a shortcut. Now this is a shortcut. You just write here 2 fractions and you will get the answer to the question. Now what is the increase in the price? 25%. How do you write 25%? 1 by 4. Now whenever there is an increase, remember you add. So add 4 plus 1 is nothing but 5. Numerator always remains the same. So if it was 1 in the earlier case, it will be 1 right now as well. Add 4 plus 1 is what? 5. Add that and keep it in the denominator. Add that and keep it in the denominator. That's it. So if there is an increase of 1/4, there will be a decrease of 1/5. There will be a decrease of 1/5. Obviously, if there is an increase in one case, there will be decrease in the next case. Why? Because the expenditure is same. So if the one quantity is increasing, other quantity will decrease, and that's why it's called as product consistency rule. That's it, you got the answer. If it is increasing by 1 by 4, it is decreasing by 1 by 5. 1 by 5 is nothing but 20%. That is your answer to the question. So 1/4. What do you remember the technique? If it's 1/4, keep the numerator same. If it is increasing, add 4 plus 1 is 5. Whatever you get at an answer, put it in the denominator. 1/4 it is increased, 1/5 it will decrease. So 25% increase, 20% decrease, and 20% decrease. So I get the answer just by writing two fractions too. So remember this shortcut to solve product consistency. Let's solve one more problem to understand it even better. Now the question is with respect to the percentage increase in the price of the honey from 2015 to 2016, what should be the percentage decrease in the quantity consumption if the expenditure of the consumer remains same? Exactly the same kind of problem. So let's go 2015 to 2016. Price, quantity and expenditure. I'll go ahead with that. What is an increase in the price of honey? 36 to 40. So if I write here price, quantity and expenditure, what will I do with price? It has increased from 36 to 40. What is the percentage increase? 4 over 36. 4 over 36 is nothing but 1 by 9. And 1 by 9 is nothing but 11.11. So 11.11 is a percentage increase in the price of the quantity. Now what is the question telling me? What should the percentage decrease in the quantity consumption? Expenditure remains same. So let's take the LCM of 36 and 40, which comes out to be 9 into 5, 45 into 2, 90 into 4, 360. Which means my salary, I'm assuming it to be 360. Now what number multiplied by 36 gives you 360? It has to be 10. So 36 into 10 and 40 into 9. Which means what? Earlier I was getting 10 bottles of honey. Okay, when the price of the honey was 36. Now I am getting 9 bottles of honey when the price has increased to 40. So what is a percentage reduction in the quantity consumed? So now I am consuming what? 9. Earlier I was consuming 10. Reduced by what? 1. 1 over 10. 1 is what percent of 10? 10%. And that's how I get the answer. My answer to this question is 10%. How will you solve this by shortcut? Now let's go ahead. 1 by 9. The price increased by 1 by 9. If it increases, we add. Numerator remains the same. So I write there 1. I add 9 plus 1. I keep the denominator as 10. If one quantity is increasing, other will decrease. Other will decrease by 1 by 10. 1 by 10 is nothing but 10%. That's it. I get the answer just by writing two fractions to the question. Okay, so know how do you solve it? Mainly by the method of fraction. Simple thing is just write the fraction, numerator remains same, add. If it is increasing, put that in the denominator. The other quantity that you are getting in the fraction will be your answer. And if one is increasing, the other will obviously decrease. That is the rule that is followed by product consistency.